welcome back, team. Week 2036 is in the book. We're on to week 2037. We're going to cover, as always, the top 5 drivers for last week. And real quick, just want to welcome a couple of our newer drivers, Wayne Seeley, Peter Ketch, Jeff Davis, and Kevin Hollins. Welcome, gentlemen. Glad to have you as part of the Brave Freight team. And also, a welcome back on the road to Mr. Gerald Hollis and Clint Fountain. Been a few weeks for some of you guys, and we're glad to see you out there. Rates are still as best as I've ever seen them in the last 7 years. And also on this video, we're going to cover how you can get reimbursed for your quarterly inspection. 2036, top 5 drivers, here we go. Last week, Mr. Jeff Davis, new kid on the block, coming in at numero 5 with $7,250 in revenue. Phenomenal work, my friend. We're glad to have you. Number 4, a name that is not unfamiliar to the top 5, Mr. Bobby Moore, $7,300, inching out that 4th place spot by $50. Good job, Mr. Bobby Moore. Number 3, another new kid on the block, Mr. Wayne Seeley. Again, really glad to have you on the team, sir. $8,200 in revenue. Not a bad first week at all. Not a bad week. Number 4, another one that's not a stranger to the top 5, Mr. Dwight Fiegel, crushing it at $8,800 in revenue for the 2nd place. And number 1, first place for last week, drum roll, here it is. Mr. Ronald Rhoda, $9,150. I tip my hat to you, sir. Great job, Ronald. Again, really impressed with your story. Really glad to have you on the team, and you and Matt are doing a bang-up job. So that's last week's top 5. Coming into some stats for week 2036, we did a total of 51,248 miles last week for a gross revenue of $118,505. That gives us a weekly individual gross average. So on average, trucks that went out and produced last week produced $5,386.59 of gross revenue. That's an incredible average. If you're watching this and you had a lower average than that, there is money on the table. Don't leave anything out in the field. Capture as much as you can. The high, again, being Mr. Ronald Rhoda at $9,150. And then we had a couple people just, I think, either end their week really early or start a little bit late. And a couple people had $1,600 in revenue. Our average dollar per mile, this is including deadhead last week, was $2.31 a mile, with a low of $1 a mile and a high of $5.50 a mile. And as I say all the time, what you miss on the swings, you make up on the merry-go-round. So obviously not everything is $5.50 a mile, but sometimes you need to take one on the chin to make it up, in the next market. So again, great work, everybody. On average, $2.31 a mile, phenomenal. The rates, just closing out last month were really, really strong. We're in the beginning of September right now. It is the final month of the 3rd quarter. I'm really personally hoping to see things go all to the wall. We'll see, the election is coming up, and October is usually a market pullback as a whole. So the trucking capacity usually has exposure to that a little bit beforehand. So again, this is not the time to let your foot off the gas. It's not the time to let your foot off the diesel. This is the time to really capture as much as you can, because the next, 6-8 weeks is going to be really interesting. Couple updates for you. So wrapping up, maybe this is a wrap update more than an update, but great job, everybody, on getting your quarterly inspections in. I'm very proud of all you. Thanks so much for taking the time and the effort to make sure that your vehicles are up to code and up to standard. It really shows that you not only respect the company, but also the other owner-operators that share this opportunity with you. You're saying, hey, I'm a team player. I'm going to make sure that my vehicle is up to snuff to protect this opportunity for my fellow brothers and sisters in the Brave Freight family. So thank you. Now, I want to go over, how do you get get reimbursed. So number one is make sure you have that receipt for the inspection. You need to submit that receipt to us, number one. And then number two is you need to get a clean roadside inspection sometime within the next 30 days. So by the end of the month of September, get a clean roadside inspection and you'll be fully reimbursed for your annual inspection / quarterly inspection. So we're going to give you a template. Make sure you're on Slack, and I'm going to release it in the driver's channel. And we're going to release a template for you that you can print out at a truck stop, and you can hand it to a roadside DOT officer. And it's just a polite but simple, friendly request for a roadside inspection. It's designed to help you guys have a little bit of favor. Instead of just making a request, they get a professional letter on company letterhead, and it basically says, hey, if it's a convenient time for you, we do this as a safety measure to help make sure our trucks are on the up and up. If you have a second, can you give our guys a roadside inspection? And more often than not, we find that when the DOT officer says, yeah, sure, I'll do it, it's much more of a favorable interaction at that point, because they can see that we're doing it with a good heart and with a good attitude, and it comes from a professional place. So I'll make sure that you guys get that inspection request letter, again, in Slack. If you're not on Slack, make sure to message your dispatcher. We'll send you the invite code, and I'll release the template there, and you can print it out at any truck stop. So to wrap up the updates, most of you, if not all of you, I haven't checked today, have all received and installed your new ELD pieces from Keep Trucking. As you know, we're very excited about this new partnership with Keep Trucking. They are the country's #1 ELD provider, specifically for owner-operators. So we picked this for you because we felt like this provider was going to be the best provider for you. Make sure that you have that installed ASAP, and make sure that you give, number one, your dispatcher the serial number that's on the back of your new device that you have, and number two, make sure that you mail or ship out your old device to Yebin. We're going to go ahead and provide a FedEx address for you to send that back to, and providing that you return those devices, there's no charge, okay? However, if you do not return those ELD devices, the old ELD company will charge us, and we will pass that charge along to you. We're not looking to do it. We don't want to do it, but in the same sense, it doesn't seem fair to us if you don't return a piece of equipment and we get charged for it. We're not just going to eat that cost. And I think it's somewhere to the tune of $200. So it's, it's better to keep in your pocket than to give to somebody else. So we'll provide an address for you to send those through. Ask your dispatcher for that. I'll also release it in the driver chat in Slack. But make sure that, one, you get that SN number, the serial number, to your dispatcher when you put in your new device. And number two is make sure that you ship out your old device and transponders by the end of this week or at the end of next week at the latest, to avoid chargeback. Anyone who hasn't returned those devices by the end of September will receive a chargeback on your settlement report, and we really don't want to do that. So make sure to get that into us. All right, and moving on into the future, we are going to have a fourth quarter blitz incentive. I'm really excited about this. We've had a desire over the last probably year and a half to provide a incentive-based blitz for the drivers. I mean, I'm talking about, paid cruises for couples, for #1 drivers, some Brave Freight swag, hoodies, who knows, maybe even refrigerators for the trucks, whatever you guys need, dash cams. We'll see what it is. But we're really excited about the fourth quarter. It's always the best quarter for all of our owner-operators and Brave Freight as a company. And we want to honor you guys, especially those of you that are really going all to the wall to work your hardest. And we'll make it fair. It's not just going to be the #1 driver. It's going to be based off of previous production, and it's going to be based off of just some general best practice principles. Not just people that are willing to leave their family forever, but just all-around communicative, delivering documents on time, responsive, just a well-rounded incentive that we're going to be able to bless you guys and honor you guys for the hard work that you're putting in. Just a little something above and beyond extra that we're able to do for all of you that are strong team players. So again, awesome week. So excited about where we've been, even more excited about where we're going, and the best is yet to come.